Hi, folks, and welcome to some group advising for spring 2021. We're going to go over a few things, process for COVID, permission numbers, course rotations, degree requirements, and the DPT, that lovely form, and some multi-semester planning, some minors, and certificate information. So first of all, we want to talk about the advising and group advising emails. These that are going to be coming to you in the next week contain the link for this Zoom video for general information, changes to advising, anything like that that we need to cover. We also want to make sure that you're going to use the sign-up links for your advisor to secure an advising appointment. Each sign-up sheet will have links to the handouts for the group advising, the things that we're going to talk about today, a link to download Zoom, and a link to this Zoom video. If you haven't already, you can download Zoom to your laptop or phone from https://it.tcu.edu/Zoom/. Individual advising will be done on Zoom. Some advisors may also offer in-person appointments as indicated on their sign-up sheet. Your advisor will email you and Melissa a copy of your advising form after your appointment. This notifies Melissa that you have been advised. Immediately after advising, email Melissa for department permit numbers or the professor for the instructor permits. Each of you will have an advising hold that prevents you from registering until that hold is lifted. When Melissa receives the copy of your latest DPT from your advisor, she can lift your advising hold. Permit numbers are required for virtually all upper level classes in environmental science. They essentially hold your seat in the classroom until you can register. So it's really important that you get them immediately upon finishing your individual advising appointment. Seniors, if you fail to get your permission numbers, you will not be allowed into a class simply because you are a senior or need it to graduate. Understand that our course sizes are still socially distanced for fall, despite us being back face-to-face in the classroom. So permission numbers are even more important this time around than perhaps they have been in the past. Your permit numbers are going to be issued via email. So there are two types. The first is departmental. They are provided by Melissa, but only with permission from the instructor or advisor. We'll typically accomplish this through the DPT. Otherwise, you can request the permit number from the professor who can approve it and copy Melissa. All of that can be done via email. For instructor permits, you would email the instructor for the course. Melissa does not issue these and she cannot help you with it. Another important thing, please let the instructor know if you are not going to use a permit number. This releases that seat to someone who may be on a wait list. We also cannot provide permit numbers for other departments. You have to contract that department or professor. For those of you that are taking ecology, biology 30403, environmental science majors do not meet the catalog prereqs. Biology routinely waives these prereqs for ENSC majors. To do that, you need to email the professor for a permit number. Again, we cannot provide permit numbers for other departments. You must contact that department or professor to get it. For course rotations, most upper level courses in ENSC and geology are offered only once every 2 years. You must then take a course when it's offered. Planning 4 semesters of your schedule is essential to ensure that you meet the degree requirements and get the courses you want. Some of this is now automatic in our new form. For that advising form or DPT, degree planning tool, couple of pretty important notes that you guys need to be aware of that you will be solely responsible for tracking, okay? Pass no credit is not allowed for the degree, the associated requirements, minors, or 18 hours of science electives. You must complete 126 hours to obtain an environmental science BS. 42 have to be upper level, so at the 3000 level or higher, and they must be taken at TCU. The CA, GA, CSV, and WEM courses must be taken at TCU. Your last 30 hours must be taken at TCU, meaning you can't transfer anything in those last 30 hours. You must complete 58 hours minimum at TCU to obtain a degree from TCU. You can transfer in up to 12 hours of credit after you enroll at TCU. The exclusion there is if you take those hours through an approved study abroad program. Once you've completed 54 hours, transfer courses must be from a 4-year degree institution, and they must be pre-approved. After you've completed 60 hours, you should file a request for a degree plan at http://www.cse.tcu.edu/undergrad.asp. You should file your intent to graduate in the semester before graduation. The student is responsible to ensure degree requirements are met prior to filing that intent to graduate. Your GPA must be a 2.0 in the major and a 2.0 cumulative for the degree. Okay. For core courses, it is our job to help you choose your path in the degree program. We will advise for degree requirements in the major, the 18 hours from the sciences or approved electives, the minors in our department, which are environmental science and sustainability, and associated requirements. Records will be kept electronically by your advisor, including approved substitutions. Make sure that you request an electronic copy of the DPT at the end of your advising appointment. For the new degree program, there are 32 hours of required courses. Some courses are specified and some have some options for you. The degree requirements will allow you to complete both of your NSC credits and at least one writing emphasis. Please note that we don't recommend taking a writing emphasis and an English course at the same time, and you'll be able to complete one GA requirement. There are 37 hours of associated requirements, and 18 hours are approved science electives. Note that these 18 hours can also be used to obtain a minor, and 6 of those hours can be from outside the College of Science and Engineering. Finally, if you're signing up for a special problems course, that course ends in 0. And so when you select it, you must choose the number of credit hours for that course from a drop-down menu when you register. Many people fail to do that, and it defaults to 1 hour instead of 3. For your associated requirements, we will advise you on things like you must take pre-calc before you enroll in physics. You can take your associated requirements off campus. If you've completed under 54 hours, you can take them at a community college. If you've completed over 54 hours, they must be taken from a 4-year institution. If you take courses elsewhere, when you transfer the credit, it does not transfer the grade, so it has 0 effect on your GPA. And you should also note, if you take a course elsewhere that has a lab, our department does not recognize lab credit if it was taken online. So here is the latest version of the degree planning tool, and we'll walk through each of these sections. So the first here in green is all the requirements, these 32 core requirements for the major, for the environmental science BS. And you'll see that we have separated it into a few foundations courses, and then some fundamentals courses, regulatory, and then a field capstone. Notice that many of these under the regulatory and the field capstone have ORs. So these are the places where you have choices in what courses you would take to fulfill that requirement. The next block is your associated requirements: chemistry, physics, statistics, and pre-calc. Let's go over to the top right. These are these 18 hours of science electives. Okay. These are required for the core portion of your degree, but you can use these 18 hours to obtain a minor. You can actually have up to 6 hours in these 18 that come from outside the college with approval of your advisor. Also, notes down here in the bottom right, many of the things that we discussed on the last slide about pass no credits, how many hours required for the degree, how many upper level hours required, those types of key pieces of information are included here in the notes section on this degree planning tool. Here we track your minors and certificates. So if you have a declared minor or you're thinking of declaring one, please let your advisor know so that they can begin to fill this in for you. And if you are interested in pursuing a certificate, also please let your advisor know so that we can begin to track those for you as well. Finally, we do 4 semesters of planning, and note that we also include 2 summers in this. So when we plug in courses for you on that DPT for your major and your associated requirements, these auto-populate by semester so that you can see what your 4 semesters and or these 2 summers might look like with the courses that you're planning on taking. For courses that you would be taking for your 18 hours of science electives, those your advisor has to manually populate in the lower section of this 4-semester plan. The Department of Environmental Sciences has 3 minors for which we advise. First is sustainability. Second is environmental science, which of course doesn't apply to the environmental science majors, and will also help you with the geology minor. But note that you may need to speak with geology regarding courses and prereqs on that. Regardless of the chosen minor, you cannot double dip between major and minor. If you take a course for the minor, it cannot also count towards your major. But again, we do allow those 18 hours of approved electives to be used to obtain a minor. The sustainability minor requirements, 18 hours, no more than 2 courses from any one department, and no grade lower than a C- may be applied to the minor. I suggest that you check out the sustainability minor. We've made some updates and added some new courses, and take a look at it online. And I think you may find that it really suits some of your needs in terms of future careers. For the geology minor, this is controlled by the geology department. It is 18 hours, including a minimum of 3 upper division, so 3,000 level or higher courses, and no grade lower than a C- may be applied to the minor. The environmental science minor requirements are 18 hours, including 3 at the upper division. Courses can be chosen from biology, geology, or environmental sciences, but must be approved by the department. And once again, no grade lower than a C- may be applied to the minor. In terms of certificates, the Department of Environmental Sciences offers 6 certificates that students can pursue, and geology has the GIS certificate. Each of these are 12 hours of courses plus the 1-hour presentations class, although we can substitute a poster at SRS with permission. For the certificates, for environmental management and water science and geoscience fundamentals and sustainability, you would talk to Becky Johnson. For wildlife management, you would talk to Tori Bennett. For the new environmental modeling certificate, you would talk to Gahendra Karel. And for GIS, you'd want to talk to Isaias Gebra-Michaels over in geology. We do have a study abroad opportunity this year. The Department of Environmental Sciences is offering one in Maymester that will fulfill the requirement for the field experience. The course title is Environmental Science, Agriculture and the Environment, Rome and Florence. This course provides foundational knowledge of how agricultural and environmental systems are linked in the context of Florence, Italy. The key question we address is, how can we feed, clothe, and provide energy for 9.7 billion people by 2050 and sustainably use and protect natural resources and biodiversity? The course is a special problems course, ENSC 40970. So again, when you enroll, you'll have to choose that 3 hours from the drop-down box. The dates have shifted slightly, coming from study abroad. We will leave on May 19th and return on June 6th, 2021. The faculty are Dr. Mike Slattery, Dr. Brendan Levy, and Professor Becky Johnson. And I hope with that, you will take a look at the attachments that we discussed in this group advising and do some preliminary planning for your semester before you see your advisor. Thanks, and we look forward to our visit with you.